Right before Chapter 2 Season 4 started, Donald Mustard tweeted out saying, "It's all connected, pay attention, this story is about to kick into overdrive." And we all know how that went. So before this story inevitably kicks back into overdrive again in Chapter 3, I thought it'd be a good idea to put everything about the Fortnite lore into one super mega video. So yeah, let's get into it. So the Fortnite universe, known as Reality Zero, is a nexus of all realities, connecting every single fictional universe and even our own universe. Now this planet's a bit strange because the island is the only thing there. If you try to leave the island by air or water, you'll reach a point where gravity and the atmosphere disappear completely, and when characters arrive in Reality Zero, their memories and powers slowly begin to slip away. The island, or at least a version of it, exists within a time loop. Each loop lasts exactly 22 minutes. During that time, characters, or as we know them, loopers, either wake up on the island or jump out of the battle bus and fight to be the last one standing. While all of that is going on, a dangerous and externally controlled storm closes in at random until the loop is over. And when a loop is over, the storm resets and everything starts again from the beginning. Characters in the loop can't speak or make any memories, which means any memories made before or during each loop are lost completely. However, characters are able to retain emotions like respect, fear, and love. Some characters have been able to bypass the loop's effects by putting themselves in a sealed environment like a suit of armor. Anyway, there's also a version of the island that exists within the extra loop, where there is no storm and characters are able to speak and make memories. Sadly, characters will not remember their pre-island past. Side note, a cool thing I noticed is whenever we've been outside the loop, we've been in first person, but whenever we've been inside the loop, we've been in third person. I think this is a cool way of demonstrating how characters in the loop are basically puppets, so they're being controlled externally, which is basically what third person is. But when a character is outside the loop, they're not being controlled, so they're in first person. Does that make sense? Anyway, how do you get to the extra loop or leave the loop at all? To make it simple, a character can leave the loop by using a rift portal device, escaping through a rift, or they can be the last person standing at the center of the storm, aka winning a game of Battle Royale. And if a character is able to escape, a snapshot is left behind in the loop, which is basically a clone of a character. And yes, this means that every single version of Jonesy on the island is a snapshot of the original Jonesy. We don't know why snapshots are created, but it probably has something to do with the Imagined Order. And that leads into my next topic. For thousands of years, the Fortnite Island has been controlled by a secret organization known as the Imagined Order. They are the self-proclaimed protectors of the 0 point, but they're secretly charting all reality so they can bring order to everything. So the Imagined Order is led by Dr. Slone. From a very young age, Dr. Slone was a prodigy in math, which would later earn her a high-ranking position at the IO. Slone is mainly in charge of keeping the island and the 0 point in order. There is also an unknown character called Geno that seems to be the leader of the Imagined Order, but nothing significant has been revealed about them aside from a reference here and there.
Geno! I can get you to Geno.
The Imagined Order has dozens of characters working for and with them, but I think the three most important groups of characters working for the IO are the Enforcers, the IO Guards, and the Spire Guardians. The Enforcers are protectors of reality that help keep everything in place. The IO Guards are soldiers that work inside the loop to prevent any loopers from escaping the loop, and fun fact, they're actually snapshots of extremely skilled loopers. And lastly, the Spire Guardians are defenders of the 0 point, originating from worlds beyond the loop. Most of the Imagined Order has fled Reality Zero, because as you can probably tell, it isn't the safest place to be. But there are some IO agents that run the loop in a facility deep under the island, so deep down in fact where it's actually located on the opposite side of the planet. So, a brief tour of the IO facility. So first there's loop control. This is what powers the loop and the augmented reality magic on the island, but the IO has really bad ad blocker. Storm monitoring, where the storm is monitored across all loops of the island. The science lab, where the IO studies anything abnormal on the island. Security, the offices. Supply drop factory, where chests, llamas, and supply drops are created. The weapons lab, battle bus repair. The food court, and lastly, the bridge, which is what the Imagined Order uses to travel between realities. The bridge is what's called the pure portal, which opens a direct portal to a reality using the 0 point. But the IO has just recently learned how to create sideways portals, which are portals that can be opened up without using a pure portal from the 0 point. Anyway, in between the Fortnite Island and the IO facility is the in-between, or some call it the vault. In Chapter 1, the vault can be accessed through the vault door under Loot Lake, but in Chapter 2, an entrance point has yet to be revealed. The vault is a place where vaulted items are stored and was once the home of the 0 point. The vault is guarded by Singularity, however, we don't really know much about her at this moment. But one day we will, according to Donald Mustard.
This is a super important character, and I can't wait for you to see a bunch of the cool stuff that will be happening with her over the next couple of years.
So what is the 0 point? Earlier I mentioned how Fortnite is the nexus of all realities, and the 0 point is why that is. In the simplest terms, the 0 point is a point where all reality sprawled from. Before anything existed, there was nothing. Then, in a burst of pure creation, the 0 point sprang into existence, creating millions of different realities, all with their own universe and multiverse. If you imagine the entire omniverse on a graph, the 0 point is the origin point, or 0, that connects every single reality together. And while the 0 point is still a big mystery, we know it can do a few things. The 0 point is shifting through thousands of realities a second, and by calibrating a unique vibration with the IO's bridge device, the 0 point can be used as a compass to locate and travel to any reality. In Chapter 1, the 0 point reorganized the matter of the island to create a new island in Chapter 2. The 0 point has the ability to create reality waves, which can alter reality in strange ways. The 0 point may also have the ability to bring back old locations, as we've seen in the Last Reality's abduction chamber in Chapter 2, Season 7. As you may have noticed, the 0 point is the central MacGuffin in Fortnite, and since everyone's fighting over the 0 point, we've been able to see the 0 point's many different stages. These include completely stabilized, a rare sight to see in Fortnite, destabilizing, blooming, and lastly, when the 0 point destabilizes completely, it turns into a black hole. And this probably explains why the loop exists. Because the 0 point is the center of everything, the Imagined Order needs to set up protective measures to make sure the 0 point can't be messed with in any way. Things like wiping a character's memories and trapping them in an endless loop of chaos simply acts as a distraction from the 0 point. But this doesn't make the Imagined Order good. In fact, the IO has enemies. They're known as the 7. So far, we know 4 members of the 7. They are the Visitor, the Scientist, the Paradigm, and the Foundation. The 7 was created by the Foundation with the purpose of stopping the Imagined Order, liberating the 0 point, and destroying the loop. A cool little Easter egg I want to note is each of their names relates to their purpose in the story. Like the Visitor is named the Visitor because he visited the Chapter 1 island in his meteor pod. The Scientist was a scientist that built rift beacons to recover the Visitor tapes left in different realities. The Paradigm flew her rocket into the 0 point so she could break the loop, and loop is another word for paradigm. And the Foundation is both the leader of the 7, and he held the 0 point together during Chapter 2 Season 6, and both are foundations in some way. And fun fact, did you know that Donald Mustard originally planned to name the Visitor the Stranger, but at the last minute, he decided to name him the Visitor because it felt more fitting. Anyway, the 7 rarely appear on the island. Rather, they watch from above and only interfere when the 0 point or the bridge is in danger. And that leads to my next and final point. One of the most important parts of the Fortnite universe is the bridge. The bridge being a dimension that allows characters to travel to and from any reality. Without it, characters from the Marvel, DC, Star Wars, or any other universe wouldn't be able to travel from their reality to the Fortnite universe or elsewhere. And I think that just about does it. 3.5 years of obsessively playing this game has finally led to something.